Well, hi guys, we're here at Destination Triumph Solent, and today we're going to be taking out the all-new Triumph Speed 400. Stay tuned. Well, hi guys, Mark here, and really pleased today to be bringing you a review on the all-new Triumph Speed 400. And again, many thanks to Destination Triumph Solent for lending me this bike today. So just run through all the specifications first of all, go for a little test ride, then our final thoughts at the end. So starting off on the price, well, it's very impressive, £4,995. So a budget price, but most definitely not a budget bike. You can also get the Scrambler 400X, which is £5,595. So the engine on this is a 398cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled 4-valve double overhead cam, and it's producing a very healthy 39.5 horsepower at 8,000 RPM, and torque is impressive as well, 37.5 Newton meters at 6,500 RPM. So quite a nice low seat height on this. Being an A2 bike, you may be looking at getting one of these as a newcomer to biking. 790mm seat on this, very plush, nicely padded. Just take a quick look at me sitting on the bike. As a reference, I'm 5'7" tall with a 30-inch inside leg, and I weigh about 75 kilos. We have a 13-litre fuel tank, and Triumph are quoting 3.5 litres for 100 kilometres, which is around about 80 miles per gallon. I have no doubt about that at all. I'm sure it will do 80 to the gallon. So you're going to get at least 200-mile range out of this. Now, another great thing about this bike is it's not that heavy. It's coming in at 170 kilos wet weight. And for my initial little ride from the showroom to here, it does feel very light on the move, so that's good. Just working around the bike, we've got Pirelli Diablo Rosso 3 tyres, 110 section on the front and a 150 section on the rear, 17-inch wheels. But just looking around the bike, initial thoughts, very good quality build, really nice, decent suspension, good engine, nice and smooth, punchy. You know, it's a really nice up-to-date bike at a great price. Have a 6-speed transmission, try that a bit later on, but seems very smooth so far. So this has high-spec suspension, it's got very good ride quality and handling. Nice LCD display there, combined with a traditional speedo, lots of information there. We'll look at that a bit later on. So if you don't know already, these are made by Bajaj in India, but they're also made in Triumph's other factories in Brazil and Thailand. So we've got ride-by-wire throttle, 43mm upside down big piston forks. They're non-adjustable, but on the rear here we have a single shock at the back there, which is preload adjustable. Single discs front and rear. ABS obviously is standard these days. Brakes are Bybree, which is a manufacturer of Brembo. So this is pitching up firmly against the likes of Royal Enfield's Hunter 350. So very good service intervals on this as well, 10,000 mile service intervals, yearly service. It's got 20 or so dedicated accessories. Comes in this lovely red, also a blue and a grey. I have had a quick look under the seat, no storage under there, I'm afraid. Yeah, there you go, guys. Looks really good, LEDs all round. So let's do the test ride, shall we? Okay then, Triumph Speed 400. What a little beauty. Let's try this out. So 790mm seat height and very easy to climb aboard. I'm not that tall, at 5'7", 170 centimeters, and my feet are flat to the floor, which is great. And the first thing I noticed about this bike, it feels very, very light. You know, think of it as like a weighty 125, so that's a great start. That means, you know, zippy performance. The suspension does feel quite soft at the rear. It's quite sort of, you know, sinking down quite a bit, but that's okay. And the front does feel moderately firm, so that's all good. Just run through all the controls. Nice that we've got bar end mirrors as standard. I do like that. We've got a cable clutch, which is not span adjustable. You've got your flasher there, high and low beam, info button, indicators and horn. Nice simple switch gear. All seems quite nice and tactile. Over this side, non-adjustable force span, front brake lever, engine kill switch, hazards and your start button. So very nice dash. Do like that a lot. Nice that it's got like a conventional needle for the speedo, all your warning lights there. You've got your gear indicator, rev counter is just there. You've got your fuel gauge, miles per gallon, trips and all that sort of good stuff. So anyway, let's fire her up. Oh good, it sounds really nice. It's got a nice thump to it. It's really good. Anyway, let's try this out. So easily into first, very light. Everything's light and easy so far. That's a good start. And a very, very gentle, smooth pull away. Superb. We're out on the open road on the new Triumph Speed 400. And first impressions, oh yes, it is really good. The thing I like straight away is the handling. The chassis suspension setup is absolutely sublime. This is really bumpy down here and it's just floating over it. It's a very comfortable suspension setup. It's set up on the soft side. It's definitely not firm, but it feels extremely light to chuck about. And the engine's got plenty of punch. So we'll just run through the bike in the usual fashion that we always do. Starting off with the mirrors. We're just doing about 50 at the moment. About 5,000 RPM and they're very, very clear. I can see a little bit of my elbows, but all good for the mirrors, so that starts well. Down to fourth for this corner. Lovely sounding exhaust out the back. Oh, plenty of punch. So this has got about 40 horsepower, so it's near on double of say a Royal Enfield Hunter or a Classic. So it really has got a nice bit of punch, but it's lost none of the torque. You know, it's still very torquey and smooth at the moment. We'll try it at the higher revs in a minute. So this is the speed version as opposed to the scrambler. It's a very upright position, steady wind blast hitting me in the chest here, but absolutely fine. And I mean, for bimbling down these sort of roads with the sun out, what a fantastic machine. I'll just drop it down a couple of gears, get the revs up a bit higher. 7,000 revs, just starting to get a few little vibes through the foot pegs, but on the whole very smooth. So fourth gear, just winding it out a bit. Obviously it's a new bike running in, so we're just cruising along here at a gentle sort of 65ish, doing about 6,000 RPM, and at this sort of speed it's very smooth. No nasty vibes through the foot pegs or anything like that. at this sort of gentle 60, 65. Plenty of go in top gear. Look, top speed on this with 40 horsepower, I would say around about 95, maybe 100 on a really good day, but 70 mile an hour cruising on the motorway, no problem, and you're going to have a good sort of 20 mile an hour in reserve. So fourth gear now, just opening it up. Sounds great. Oh, it's got a really nice sort of mid-range pull to it. So a good peppy engine, really, really comfortable, nice chassis. So just riding it slowly now, just to check that all important fueling. Currently in fourth gear, 4,000 revs. Just slow it down a little bit more. Absolutely fine. So just opening up in fourth from low down, and that really does pull well. It's not you know, it's not pull your arms out of your sockets, but for 40 horsepower it's very, very nice. It's just incredibly light and flickable. So single disc on the front, which, oh, that bites really well. Very good. We'll try that in a minute at some higher speeds. Back brakes got loads of bite on it as well. So just trundling now in a sleepy little village. Third gear, just under 4,000 revs. Sounds really good. It's not overly loud, but it's definitely sounds how a single should sound. So I'm just checking the fueling now, the fuel injection. Yeah, all very smooth. It's very responsive on the throttle. Obviously it's ride by wire. I wouldn't say it's snatchy, you just got to control your wrist a bit, but you wind it open, it goes. Well, here we are, look, just pottering at third gear, and that's really good. There's no surging or hunting, so absolutely fine for the low speed riding. So just opening it up a little bit now. Yeah, it's got a lovely pickup from low RPM with a really good soundtrack. So fourth gear now, just going to wind it out a bit. Yeah, that's very, very good pickup. It's got a nice bit of power there. So in top gear now. So this is going to be used for a lot of sort of country riding, bimbling along. It's that type of bike. And yeah, top gear at the moment, look, 55, 60, about 5,000 revs, and that's really, really nice. Just winding it out now, third gear. Oh, that goes really nicely. It just dices through the bends with so little effort. So there we are, nice decent cruising speed now, just under 6,000 revs. Generally on the whole very smooth. It's a tiny little buzz coming through the foot pegs, but totally in keeping with a single cylinder. If I open it up, it's got lots of top gear pull as well. Quick brake test, there's nothing behind. Oh, nearly over the front. So great brakes. Second gear, just going to short shift. Enjoy that delicious single cylinder sound. Well, so far guys, super impressed with this. Punchy, smooth. The comfort and the handling is standout features for me, and then obviously second is the engine. But these roads are all very bumpy, and it's just floating over everything. It's got a lovely ride quality, really nice, totally dialed in straight out the box. The engine's peppy and fun. Gearbox all very positive, slick. Clutch is very light, so no problems there. So I think Triumph have got a really good bike here, definitely a winner in this category. You know, priced at 4,999 is absolutely bargain. But a premium feel to it. You know, this thing is riding so nicely. It feels very well put together. All the switch gear is absolutely fine. Engine feels quality. So first impressions, excellent. You've got traction control, ride by wire, decent braking, and obviously if you want more of a scrambler sort of look, which is slightly off-road biased, it's going to ride much the same as this. I would have thought you could pay an extra £500 and get the scrambler. So as you can see, guys, the Speed 400 is very nippy. It's got absolutely wonderful handling. It's light, it's very comfortable. I mean, there's plenty of leg room. If you were a tall guy, you've had no problems on this. It's very upright. Wind blast totally acceptable. But just for bimbling along like this, the engine's just purring along, sweet as a nut. It's so light round the corners. The brakes, we'll just try those out again. Oh yeah, very good brakes. Pick up from low RPMs. We're in third gear now, winding it open. It's a very keen little engine. So I think Triumph have absolutely nailed it with this. They've made a good looking bike that's perfect for UK roads like this, and around the world as well. Great price. Obviously it's a new bike, but I've no doubt that the reliability will be good. So yeah, we'll just wrap it up down here, guys. What a superb little bike. So what's she like into first gear, neutral, all very easy. Give you a look again at that lovely dash. Sound check. Great stuff. And we'll just leave the indicators on with the high beam. All very good. And your rear light. Very good. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that little review on the new Triumph Speed 400. Fantastic little bike for the money, $4,999. They've absolutely nailed it. I think it's really comfortable. The seats very well padded, decent for a passenger, I would expect. It's light, absolutely superb suspension. You know, the big piston forks and the rear monoshock just floats over everything, over bumps, just makes a magic carpet ride. It's very sublime, but it's still really good round the bends. Decent, you know, Pirelli tyres as standard. That engine is generally pretty smooth. Gets a little bit buzzy at the very top end, but I think, you know, on the whole, 60-70 mile an hour, you're not going to have any problems with any sort of vibrations. The build quality, looking around it, all the paintwork, all the welding, the engine castings, everything on it is premium fit and finish. Brakes, very strong, more than adequate. Obviously liquid cooled. I think you probably definitely need a radiator guard on that. I'm sure they'll do those at some point. All the gear shift, all the linkage, very positive, very smooth, as is the clutch. So that sort of, that bit there reminds me of the 1200, that sort of look there. Back brake's got a good bit of bite to it. Extremely light off the side stand, feels like a 125, and very easy to push about, so that's all good. Sounds great as well. Again, no doubt they'll do aftermarket exhaust for this. It does join there, so you could just put a louder slip on if you wanted to. But yeah, absolutely 5 stars for me for the Speed 400. Would I buy one? Most definitely. So yeah, very, very good. I'm sure at some point I may review the Scrambler as well, but that's going to probably write much the same, I would say. So there you go, guys. Please post your comments down below. What are your thoughts on the new Speed 400? Have you ridden one yet? I say, if you haven't, definitely get a go on one. You'll be pleasantly surprised, and for the money, absolute bargain. Alright guys, so please push your comments down below, like, share and subscribe as always, and I'll catch you again in a week or so for another review.